Thank you so much. That was a medley. I lied to you. I turned it into a medley of two songs. One's called Doc's Guitar. And this next one, I got to play with Doc. And this is written by a man named John Loudermilk. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was one of my favorite songs when I was a kid growing up. I just loved it. I stayed up till all times, all hours of the evening. like a 12-string out of tune. It is a 10-string. The discerning eye of the audience. Put that away. Well, I had this idea about 30 years ago. I had a B1225, which is a very cheap Gibson. So I didn't have a lot invested in it. But 12 strings, kind of what I don't like about them is you can't play all the repertoire that you want to play because all the strings. So I had this idea, and I had Mark Dvorak, his brother, actually did beautiful work on it. He put a new nut and saddle on it for a 10-string and reset the neck. And the first and second string are single, and the G string on that one was a unison. It wasn't an octave like this. And the idea worked. And then about 5 years ago, I went to the guitar maker who makes my guitars, Kevin Ryan, and he just loved the idea. And this is an EL10, the Eric Lugosch 10 string, so I'm very proud of it. Sounds pretty good, right? Ooh, that's wrong. Tuning the guitar is like having an aircraft mechanic going over the plane before you fly. You want it to be done. Thanks very much. Thank you. That's a new piece that I wrote, and it's called The Gentleman Farmer. And I haven't recorded that yet, but it's the first time I've actually played it out. So I'm glad you're here for it. Thank you very much. I'm kind of nervous, believe it or not. It's been such a long time. I was supposed to, my last gig was here the day before my birthday in March. Actually, my last gig was at the Minnesota State Fair about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I guess. And I played with my friend Phil Haywood, and we did 6 shows in 2 days. But that was different than this. It wasn't quite as intimate. It was intimate, but it was, outdoor with a big crowd. And it's sure nice to be back in such a small crowd here. And I played for you 2 things, Georgia on My Mind, which is something else, a new arrangement in the last my COVID woodshedding times. I'm going to play some other music for you as well, some new music. I was surprised I stayed on the 10 string this long, but why not? Last time I played up in Minnesota, jokes that happen that you don't plan on are always the best jokes. And I played up in Tofte. Do you know where Tofte is? It's in northern Minnesota. It's as far north as you can go. And I went up there for the first time. I was playing a festival there with my friend Phil Haywood again. And that night we had spent the whole day outdoors, and I've only seen one bald eagle in my life, and it was a juvenile bald eagle. It was all brown. And that day I saw 17 bald eagles. I said that to the people, and then I took my hat off, and everybody laughed, and then someone said 18. So that's my bald eagle joke. I have idea what I'm going to play for you, but I think I do. Okay, I get what you want. Called I'm Confessing That I Love You. Oh. I'm enjoying playing this 10-string. Thanks, man. Thanks, George. This is a song I learned as a kid. My two oldest brothers went to Vietnam in 1969. They came home in 72. They were lucky. They were on the same ship together. They were on brother duty, which was illegal, but my dad had pull. And one was a corpsman, and the other was a radioman. And they're two completely opposite individuals. One's fastidious, he spoke impeccable French, and he was the radioman. And the other one was short and like drinking. He was a real salty sailor, and the corpsman. But when they left, their bedroom became my haven. And I moved up to the bedroom with them, and what I got there was a treasure, a true treasure of music. My brother Emil, my oldest brother, had so many records, and I was listening. It's so funny, you know, as a kid, I had a pretty precocious taste, I would say. My first album that I got was Janis Joplin, and then, well, the first, with my lawnmower money, I got Snoopy and the Red Baron, then Can't Hurry Love from the Supremes, and then it was Janis Joplin, but then it was Emil's, I was listening to Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Sonny Rollins, and then Mississippi John Hurt and Reverend Gary Davis, just a whole treasure trove of stuff. And he came home and he had a guitar and he started taking lessons, and from a great player, a man named Ben Aronoff. And Benji Aronoff, his father, was the first violinist, principal violinist for the New York Symphony, and he started the New School of Music. And Benji was kind of like a black sheep, but he was a virtuoso guitar player and a banjo player. And he studied with Gary Davis in New York as a kid. And so Emil took lessons from him, and he'd come home from work, and while he was at work, I'd go up into the room and his bedroom and sneak in there and learn his songs before he did. And then he'd play him when he got home, and then I just couldn't stop. I said, Emil, you got that wrong. He said, God damn it, Eric, you were in my room again. But he was so influential and for my playing, and he was one who cultivated it and started me with lessons. And one of the people I'm going to play for you right now was a true genius, was Pete Seeger, and he was the child. He and his sister were their parents were envoys. What is the word when you're for the envoys for the state? They lived all, foreign service. But he lived all over, and this is a very interesting story that not many people know about. But this one song I'm going to play is called "Living in the Country." And "Living in the Country," everybody associates Pete Seeger with songs about the Union or children's songs or about communism and on the banjo, but he wrote one instrumental song. That's it, just one instrumental. It became stock repertoire for fingerstyle guitarists like myself. But if you ever heard him play it, he lived in Trinidad, Pete Seeger, and he was trying to cultivate the steel drums into American folk music, and I never knew that. But if you look it up on YouTube, you can see him actually playing along with people on the steel drums, and he tried to incorporate that into American folk music. That never happened. But I recorded it on my first album with a steel drum player without knowing that, which always made me feel good. And I try to put a Caribbean lilt to it as well. And if you hear Pete do it, he plays it at breakneck speed, and he's whistling at the same time. It's an amazing recording to hear. Any questions, class?
Do you still teach songs from the back to the front?
That's an interesting question, George. It depends on the student. Oh, you don't know who answers that. You know, I think it's weird. You know, isn't it weird going into a bank with a mask on? I mean, it just seems like something's, I never got used to that. Yeah, I do. Sometimes it depends on the repertoire. The question was, do I teach songs? I'm a teacher. Do I teach from the back to the front? And there's this theory that goes on, especially with classical guitarists. That gives me an idea. With classical guitarists, the repertoire, you start at the end, because then everything you learn there's a resolution to it. So you start at the end, which is how it's resolved and wrapped up, and you work your way backwards. And sometimes it works really well with students, and they like learning that way, because they're at the end of the song, and they hear that resolution, and then they go, oh, let's go back. I want to hear how we get to this part. And it's an interesting way of kind of building the memory cells. I hope that's not too esoteric a thing, but blame him, because he asked me. I've had 2 tours of Europe that were canceled in the last 2 years. I'm supposed to go back again, and I spent about 3 months out of the year overseas for the last 25 years. And I've had some great opportunities, and I like playing in England quite a bit, and I like playing in Italy quite a bit, Germany as well. But those 2 places, there's a real strong importance, thinking of a better word than importance, but put on music and in the education of music. And there's also a lot of traditional music. And I was playing there 10 years ago, and I was turned on to a violinist, and he's a national hero, and his name was Arista Carpi, and he was dead. But he wrote only dance tunes, and he played with his 2 sons. One son played the bass, and the other played the drum. Not the drums, but the drum. And I was terribly out of tune, but the guy was brilliant. And he wrote so many songs. He was like O'Carolan in Irish music, in traditional music. He wrote so many songs that in many cases he didn't have names for them. So we just simply call them by their form, like, you know, like polka or something like this. But in this case, it was a waltz, and it's simply called Walzer. I don't know if people buy CDs anymore, but this is on my last album, which came out right before the pandemic. Great timing. And I have a couple of traditional Italian tunes on here, and this is one of my favorite things to play. I love this because it just puts you in a good mood. And this is in the Charo style, which is a form, and there's 3 parts to it, and usually one's in a different key. And but it's a folk tune. Just remember that. It sounds classical, but it's not. It's a folk tune. And I really like it because I played this down in Cuba, Illinois. You know where Cuba is? It's down near Cuba, Illinois. It's down near where's the University of Illinois? Down in Urbana, right? You haven't heard? Someone must have heard of Cuba. They call it's Cuba, but they call it Cuba, and they call it because in the Illinois River there's an island the shape of Cuba, and that's how it got its name. But I played a gig there, which you probably have heard of. It's at the Frank Valillo. Well, you're right. And I love that gig. That gig's Chris Valillo, right. And he had me play it, and all the farmers came out. And, you know, it was great. They were still in their overalls. And I played the song. They just loved this. And then what was a real compliment was like the next night I played about 30 miles away, which is it's quite a distance, at a place called the Piece of Earth Lodge And these two groups of families came and said, will you play that Italian song again? This is called Waltzer. Thank you very much. I think it's the longest set I've ever played on that guitar.
So are you ready for a break, or do you want to keep going?
What would you people like? Is it time for a break? Okay, folks, I don't know if people buy CDs anymore, but all the music I've played is on the CDs that I have here. Oh, no, not all of it, not Georgia. And what's the other one? The new one that I wrote, Gentleman Farmer. And I'm going to play some new stuff for you, but I do have some CDs if you still have CD players in your car. And I'll bring out my Chinese takeout box. Thank you. I'll be back. Thank you very much.
We're going to take about 10 or 15 minutes, so get those CDs from Eric.
Okay.
They're amazing. And then meet us back here. Be ready to go in about 15.
Okay, great. Really, folks, thanks for coming out tonight on this beautiful night.
You still see in England Steve King?
Oh, it's been such a long time, I don't remember anybody.
You brought him in.
Right, I did. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him the last time I was there, I did the International Guitar Night tour, and he was on the first part of it, and I wasn't on that part. I was on the second part of it. Okay, I'll be back. Let me go get some air. Good to see you, Eric. Good to see you, man. It's great to see you. Thanks, Al. Thank you. I like that. You're
pianos, and I wrote two of the songs, and I wrote the boxes, the second one on this film, but there's also
It kind of reminded me of a story when he was telling about his
and
older brothers and
one
the
put a
music
couple
was.
words, I'm confessing it's on here as well.
And then he played
I'm
George, I
confessing
think,
it's all on this one, but I never liked the recording.
George Elman.
Are you the, right.
They told you to forget.
Well, it's hard to see. Okay, it's hard to tell. How are you doing? How are you? Okay. How's your dog? Well, that's the last time I saw you. They were all at your house. Here's a, I'm gonna give you this. There's MP3s on our webpage for, at full and half speed for all 30 lessons. And this comes from, yeah, my students put it together and,
That's your arrangement.
yeah, yeah.
I got that.
Son, yeah, this is the one. Yep. There you go. Her Grace? Oh, tripping on my own feet. Stars up above. Oh, no, oh, more reasons than stars. Wow, I hate to think about that. I'm gonna go to the other room and see if I can figure that out.
I like that.
I have to go now. You got me thinking about that, George. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I
Well,
can pull that
that's
off.
all right.
Everybody in here a guitar player?
Aiming for mediocrity.
I got your guitar. Appreciate.
Yeah, well, I put them on, flash drives. I copy the CDs and stuff on flash drives, and just plug it in. Yeah, just plug it into, the flash, that's going, yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. That's what I need. What I need are my reading glasses.
think I am.
Okay.
I know you, don't I? I love you, don't I?
Wonderful. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got some CDs at the counter for when the show is over if you didn't get them yet, so please be sure to check in. I wanted to thank our volunteers. Tim is back there. He was helping take tickets, and he helped virtually with all of the cameras and stuff, and Joel on sound, and I'm Jen. So we have Eric this week. He's been amazing so far. We have a full set to go of his wonderful music. Next week we have Heather Pearson Trio. The week after that, on the 22nd, we have Bill Bloomer. On Tuesday, we have a song circle. So that happens in the big room.
This Tuesday.
This Tuesday, yes, this coming Tuesday, we have a song circle in the big room, or you can even do it online. You can't make it in person. Maybe,
I'm not sure about that.
or come in person and that will work. So take it away, Eric.
Oh, keep on talking, because I'm still tuning.
He's still tuning in.
Don't
So
yet-
what else do we have coming up? We have Laura Herskovich on the 29th of this month, and then next month, Jim Gary, Rachel Kiergård, Dennis Warner, and R. Wesley Carr.
When is Mark DeBork, is he the 19th?
Mark DeBork is next.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said DeBork.
No, I said Bill Bloomer is the 22nd, Heather Pearson is the 15th, the 29th is Laura Herskovich, Jim Gary is 11/5, Rachel Kilgore the 12th, and Dennis Warner is the 19th, and R. Wesley Carr is the 26th of November. So we've got some really fantastic artists coming through over the next couple months. So
When's Mark coming in?
Mark, we don't have Mark, but Mark was wonderful enough to help us with our 50th virtual celebration. So we just had him in, so we can't have him back quite yet. But rest assured, there will be future times where Mark will work. All right, I'm gonna let Eric go and stop talking.
So Mark's brother is a guitar maker or?
Yes, per year.
I don't know what he does now, but he was a gifted repairman.
I won a at-home concert event at,
He's an electric guitar player, his brother. He was great,
oh,
great electric player.
but Mark came just because I won this prize of a concert in my house. And I said, well, I don't have a very big house, but can you play in our garage? It's a condo. We had like 60 people. He said it was the most unusual venue he had ever had.
I think about unusual venues I've had.
What about Trinidad?
I never played there, but that's where Pete Seeger tried to introduce the steel drums into America. You can see him playing. It's great. I'm so happy with the way this guitar is acting. That's on the new record, but it's not on my 10 string. It's just on a 6. Now I'll do a John Lennon song. I'm sorry? That's I Will. Thanks again. Battle of New Orleans, but it's originally 8th of January. It's on my newest recording. Oh, it is, you're right. The student version, yeah. Next up, Mike, you turned me on to Gilkison. I forget her name, her first name. Eliza Gilkison. You sure did. I taught you that song that you like so much. That. Oh, I have to turn you on. Okay. Hey. That's the gateway lesson, you know. Thank you. That was a little too fast, wasn't it? That was something I wrote a long time ago called The Cajun Cook. I'm not sure. It's a fun song to play. When I was at the Minnesota State Fair, I'm going to play something new for you. Matter of fact, I'm going to change guitars again. And I'll get back to this guy. And I like going to state fairs. What I particularly like about them is the 4-H for the kids. The kids get to show off their cats, their chickens, their hogs for a contest, the state fair, and the Minnesota State Fair is really remarkable. It's probably the biggest in the country. And I don't know if you saw the special on Channel 11 about 4 years ago on horses, but there was a special on horses, and they were showing these short stories on horses, and they were, one was a policeman, and he had his horse in New York City, and it was his partner, and he was telling about how that horse was and his interaction with that horse. And there was one where it was a horse was used as for it was kids with who were disabled, yes, disabled children, right? And how important it was to them. And then they were overseas, and there was one where there was with a cowgirl, and she was a teenager, and this is what got me started. And they asked her, they says, well, do you know, is this your, she said, this is my best friend, and do you tell her your horse things? He says, I tell my horse everything. Everything, things I would never tell anybody, right? And so I remembered that. It was such a great show. And these girls, it wasn't girls, it was girls and boys, but there's this, they were showing their horses, and there were some girls who were doing barrel racing. And this one girl, she had an Appaloosa, and I think that's such a beautiful name, and I wrote a song called Appaloosa, but I remembered that, and I asked her, I said, and I don't know, she was 14 years old or something like this, and she lived in the farm, and I said, you know, is this your best friend? And her whole face lit up. She says, this is my best friend. And it was like listening to the dialogue, and she says, do you tell it? I said, I tell this horse everything. And Appaloosas are also called paints, and pintos, and they're just, I have pictures of it, and she was so inspiring, seeing how much in love she was and how engaged she was with her horse. So I wrote this piece. This is called Appaloosa. Don't sit on that chair, it creeps too high heaven. One of these days it's gonna give away. See the dust on the stairs, I've been sleeping on the sofa. Move those things and sit there. Everything in this house is broken down. Never thought I'd see this day come around. Something for me to sign. Help me upstairs one more time. I'll pack some things and we can go. Everything is broken. Everything is broken. Pocket, watch and chain, radio and Bible, picture of the boys and a change of clothes. Mother's figurines, they're sure to outlast me. Honey, they're so fragile, but aren't we all? Everyone in this house is broken down. Never thought I'd see this day come around. You go start the car. Who thought it'd be this hard? I'll pack some things and we can go. Just let me lock up and we can go. Carol, you gave me ideas. I haven't done this, but when I was overseas, it was becoming more apparent. I wrote this next song over 30 years ago, but it seems to be have more in common with today than it does back then. And people think I wrote it about today in the atmosphere. They thought it was a political statement or something, and it's not. I'm not that deep. I like to think of myself as politically ambivalent, and but let's see what happens with this. Satisfaction with the grind has me tripping on my own feet. Alterations of a routine has me tripping on my own feet. And I want to know what you have got to tell me that's new. 'Cause I'm tripping on my own feet. I'm trying to make them stand, tripping on my own feet. Looking back to my home was a mnemonic vice, and it crushed me to the bone. Dazed but still alive, crooked and with fault. I'm upstairs in the basement, climbing down the walls, and I want to know what you have got to tell me that I might use. 'Cause I'm tripping on my own feet. I'm trying to make them stand, tripping on my own feet. Hey, hey. persecuted by the pen and bludgeoned by the point I make it. That a flag on an island makes sovereignty evolve. Roll, turn, spin through the gates of life. It's all arbitrary like a roll of dice. Wind-freed leaves, they blew across the ice. It was cold like a cube and it cut like a knife. A smile cracked across a local's face like light. He said, son, we don't get weather, just climate at this time. And I want to know what you have got to tell me that I might use. 'Cause I'm tripping on my own feet. I'm trying to make them stand, tripping on my own feet. Dissatisfaction with the grind has me tripping so I just can't see. Alterations of a routine has me tripping on my own feet. And I want to know what you have got to tell me that's new. 'Cause I'm tripping on my own feet. I'm trying to make them stand, tripping on my own feet. Thank you. Thank you very much. Play some new stuff for you. A couple more songs tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Though the strong gets more, while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Money, you've got lots of friends crowding round your door. When you're lost in spending ends, you know they won't be back for more. Rich relations give you crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, just don't take too much. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Money, you've got lots of friends crowding around your door. When you're lost in spending ends, you know they won't be back for more. Rich relations give trust of bread and such. You can help yourself, just don't take too much. Mother may have, father may have too, but God bless a child who's got his own. God bless a child who's got his own. Who's got his own. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me, folks. And I'm going to end here with a psalm from Jelly Roll Morton. Thank you very much. Thanks, JC.
Right. Would you grace us with an encore? One more from Eric. And thank you for coming, everybody, tonight. And he's going to play one more, but I just want to remind you next weekend is Heather Pearson Trio. It's a delight. She's coming in from California. Her trio is amazing. Eric was amazing. He's got CDs and books back there. Don't forget to pick them up on your way out. I just picked up the book myself to see if I can keep up, but it's going to be a lot of work, I'm sure.
No, it's MP3s at full and half speed
Oh, good.
on
I
the
need
webpage,
That sort of thing.
and they're all 1 page in length, the lessons, and they're put together by my students.
So, you'll have to check with me in another month or two, see if I got through any of it. But thank you, Eric. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. I'm going to do 2 more songs, okay?
All right.
songs. I'm a real fan of traditional music. A lot of you know that. I'm going to do a very short piece. This is written actually in the 1700s, but it's given the Beatles a run for their money because everybody knows it. And most people know this by this song, "The Girl I Left Behind Me," which is kind of a colorful song, but it was actually called Brighton Camp. That was the English version. That's where it came from. And then I'm going to end with the Joni Mitchell piece, which is on the new album. Brighton Camp, or "The Girl I Left Behind Me." Thanks again, everybody. Thank you for coming.